Hey everybody. Oh, it's kind of sideways, huh? I guess I have to rotate it. Um, Sorry. So, this is my second attempt at going live on Fridays. It's kind of my whole plan because I was slacking and it's just easier instead of, editing videos all the time to just go live. Anyways, one of the things I wanted to talk about today is motivation after regain. So it's one of the biggest things that I think we need to talk about is the fact that after weight loss surgery, you are going to regain. It's going to happen. Whether it's 5 pounds, 10 pounds, or 100 pounds is up to you. So if you're freshly out, this is something we can talk about together of having, a plan in place. And if it's been a while and you've already experienced the regain, then it's going to be something that maybe you need to work on now for yourself. Pardon my outfit. I'm actually wearing my bathing suit. I'm going to the beach or to the pool today with my kids. We're going to leave as soon as I'm done here. Anyways, it's weird. So you're going to regain. It's going to happen. Everyone regains. Everyone has a little bit to work on after weight loss surgery. Sometimes it's food addiction, sometimes it's just bad habits, sometimes it's emotional issues that you have, but it's going to be, a process of figuring out why you're overeating in the first place, why you binge, maybe why you don't eat at all, because that's a lot of times one of the issues is people just don't eat. So figuring out why it is that you're struggling to begin with is going to be the biggest perk in figuring out how not to regain or how to control your regain. And for me, it was really easy. For the first few years after my surgery, I didn't struggle whatsoever. Like I said last week, I explained to you guys that I struggled with almost anorexia. I wasn't eating. I was living off protein shakes and juiced vegetables. I was doing really bad for a little while. Then I started doing really well and I was eating very healthy. And it wasn't until Charlotte passed away that I discovered the grief. Well, also, moving to Idaho was a big deal. But I discovered the pain of grief and loss like I'd never felt it before. So my focus was no longer on eating or dieting or watching my protein intake or any of those things. It was all strictly on getting through the day. And once I started getting through the day, it was like, okay, I have put on 20 pounds. What do I do? And now it's kind of turned into well, what am I doing for myself? Because it's one of the things when you're struggling emotionally that you don't take care of yourself. It's just get up, handle whatever it is you need to handle, and then that's it, So once I started taking care of myself on a more regular basis, things have gotten a little better. I've been working a little bit harder on myself. Yeah, last night I took my dog on a really, really long walk. She was really tired. Sorry. It's really hard to do this while you're like holding your phone in your hand. And I can't find my camera since I moved here, so I'm kind of struggling with that. Anyways, like I said, finding the motivation to work out is difficult. It really, really is. I was even joking last week with you guys about the fact that, sometimes I have no motivation whatsoever. But what it is, it's planning. It's having the foresight to know that you need to make a change and you need to make the effort. So, weekly meal planning. I know they're not always the healthiest choices, which is funny because they're called healthy choice. But when I'm at work, I tend to not eat. So, I've been buying those frozen Weight Watcher meals, Lean Cuisines, whatever those healthy meals are in the freezer section. And we have a kitchen at work, so I've been stocking the freezer at work with my own meals. So I remember to eat during the day. I still do the protein shakes or a shake in the morning, Premier Nutrition or the Thrive shakes. I still use Thrive every day. I don't know how I get by without my Thrive. And then having those meals in the afternoon, coming home and having dinner that's not fast food, because that also became an issue, again, with working full-time, 10-hour days, 10 to sometimes 11-hour days. I'd come home and I wouldn't want to cook. So meal planning is a huge deal. Having something ready to eat is a huge deal. So it's not about like, oh, waking up in the morning and not having any motivation whatsoever. It's more about um, acknowledging ahead of time that you need to plan something out, and working towards, you know, your goal means that you need to think ahead. So meal planning is huge, huge. Pinterest is your best friend. Go on Pinterest and find something that's going to help you meal plan, or get some quick meal ideas. I can't stress enough how big of a deal it is to plan this out ahead of time. That's where your motivation is. Now, workouts, on the other hand, meal planning is great. You can plan your meals ahead of time. You can spend all day cooking on a Sunday and then have a meal every day ready for you when you get home. That's harder when you have kids and a family, I understand, but you can do it. The working out is harder, finding the motivation to work out. And I think that's going to be your biggest key to succeeding with your weight loss journey is, exercise. And no, yes, okay. Don't hate me for saying this, but walking doesn't count after a while. Walking's great at first when that's all you can do. And I understand, I've been there. When walking is literally all you can do, then walk. There was a point when I was starting my weight loss journey that I could probably only make it about 500 feet before I had to turn around and go home. And it was shocking how little I could move. So I get that that's not an option right off the bat. But after you have your surgery and you start walking and you start losing the weight and gaining more energy, I'm going to tell you, walking's not going to cut it anymore. So you'll make it, it works for a little while, but maybe start jogging, maybe go on an incline, maybe do something else that's different. And, yeah, it is everyone's issue is finding the motivation to work out. But what I'm telling you is my favorite thing is when I started jogging, which I never ended up running, but I was jogging. My favorite thing in the world was that feeling, like that tingly feeling you get in your legs when you've gone really, really far and your butt gets sore and it's like you can feel the blood pulsing through your legs. I loved that feeling. And I have always felt like, I hate exercise, but that feeling was amazing. So you have to find what workout works best for you. I still love DDP Yoga. They have an app now. DDP Yoga has an app where you can do live workouts. You can challenge yourself. And I think that's best for anyone who struggles with any joint pain or issues or back pain or issues. You can try that out. And if you have any questions about DDP Yoga, I'll post a link on my Facebook page. Like I said, I took my dog on the longest walk yesterday. We did some jogging. We moved around. Just moving is good enough. But you really got to work on like a full core body power workout. I made up all those words right now. I don't mean anything. So stretching and cardio and strength training all matter. You got to build those muscles up because that's what this weight loss is going to do. Having weight loss surgery doesn't just eat away at the pounds. It also eats away at your muscle mass. So you have to find a workout that you love. And you have to plan that too. How you're going to do it, when you're going to do it. So yeah, I struggle because I work 10 to 11 hour days. I've got the kids. So we get up in the morning. We get ready for school and work. Well, they're out of school right now. But I get out the door, and when I come home, I'm exhausted, and I just don't want to do it. So I have kind of decided that, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because I only work 4 days, are my days that I'm going to do at least something active for 20 minutes. And I know that's only 3 days, and they're back-to-back, and that's not really how it works out, but at least I have those 3 days that I feel like I'm moving, that I feel like my muscles are getting used the way they need to be used. I guess the hardest part is trying to explain to you the seriousness of needing to exercise. It's not about motivation, because if people are telling me I don't have the motivation to work out, because I know this for a fact because it's me too. I don't have the motivation to work out means I don't want to do it, and I don't feel like doing it, and I don't like doing it, and I'm just not going to. that's what you're saying. And when you acknowledge that's what you're saying is, I just don't want to do it, well, then you really don't want to keep the weight off. And I kind of feel like I needed to tell myself that, so I'm going to have to tell it to you guys the same way. If I'm sitting here saying I don't want to work out and I don't want to eat healthy, well, then I don't want to lose the weight. That's what I'm saying. And I know that I'm making excuses. So if you guys are going to tell me that, I have no motivation, well, then you need to figure out if you really, really want to do this after weight loss surgery. Like I said, it's all about scheduling. It's all about just making a decision and planning it out and really deciding where your motivation lies. Is your motivation in not working out? What's the point? What do you get from not working out? Yes, it hurts, but there's workouts that don't necessarily hurt so much. And yeah, it's time consuming, but like I said, taking my dog on a walk to the nature preserve that's up the street, that's tons of fun. It doesn't just feel like a workout. Plus my dog's gained weight since I started working too, so I really needed to work her out too. So I think my motivation was more of the fact that my dogs became obese while I started working. So maybe I need to help them lose some weight. And then, the meal planning. But regain is going to happen. It is. I remember my friend Gigi telling me, everyone regains. Don't be scared of it. And I was like mortified when she told me that. And she kind of laughed because I had no idea. And Gigi, if you watch this, I don't know if everyone knows who you are, or that you had surgery. And you're probably the only one who knows that I'm talking about you specifically. But you told me to my face, everyone regains. And I didn't believe you. And I was convinced that I wasn't going to. And she's the kind of person that you look at her, you, of course, would never have any idea she had weight loss surgery. You would never know that she was ever overweight unless you knew her before. I had no idea until she told me, which is what... It's stupid that people say that all the time. Like, oh, you can't tell that you had surgery. Well, so you should see me naked. But... see, that's where this live thing gets weird, because I say things and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But when she told me she had weight loss surgery and that everyone regains, that I guess it was one of those things I denied, but then once I regained, I was like, oh, she was right. Oh, man. And now I kind of look at it and I think, well, I need to warn other people that it's going to happen, but you just have to stay focused. I mean, it's not about going back to a soft food diet. There's tons of people who do. It's just kind of accepting that life goes on and it gets harder and you struggle more. And, once you get the hang of this weight loss surgery thing and you get the hang of the new eating styles, it's like, okay, now what? Now what do I do? And, well... you forget for a while what to do. Hi, Joe. I had the vertical gastric sleeve 5 years ago. I'm coming up on my 5-year surgiversary, which will be tons of fun. I'm totally making a video for that. And like I said, I'm sitting here in a 2-piece bathing suit, which I totally have something over it because I'm not going to show you guys, a bathing suit. But you get used to it, and you learn to live life in this way, but then you're going to settle and get more comfortable. So is that why you gained weight in the first place? Because you got comfortable? If it is, then we got to focus on getting uncomfortable. So with that being said, I appreciate all of you that have logged in today. If you have any questions, go to my Facebook. It's Life Coach Lauren Vento on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. I have a Twitter, I think, but I don't ever use it. I don't really like Twitter. But hit me up on Facebook. Tell me what you guys want to see next week. I want to talk about cross addiction and going from food addiction into substance abuse, alcoholism, and drug use. It is something that happens very frequently, and I do want to talk to you guys about that, but that's going to be a whole video in itself. So if you have any other questions, post them on Facebook. I will gladly respond, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks for logging in.